Hi there, this is Maria from Movement Unit. I hope all of you are very well. Today I would like to give you a few tips about our wrists, how you can strengthen your wrists and how you can work them up. All the movements in our wrist and fingers come mostly from our muscles in the forearm. We have little muscles in the hands as well, but to accommodate all those many movements that we do with the hands, our forearms work really hard. So you may find out when you start to doing yoga, it happened to me as well, that when you go into plank or when you go into downward dog, you may feel sometimes like burning sensation in your wrist, like very painful, and that's because your brain is not used to that movement. So if you think when we are like this, our wrists are in extension. So just a quick review of the movements in our wrist. So that will be a neutral position. That will be extension of our wrists and extension of our finger. That will be, if we move like this, that will be extension of our wrist, flexion of our fingers. We go back to neutral position again. If we move the hand down, that will be flexion of our wrist and extension of our finger. And if we flex our finger, that will be flexion and flexion. Flexion of our wrist, flexion of our finger. So if you think that in your daily movements, we use a lot this movement. When we typing, when we working, when we driving, when we pick things, when we eating. But if you think in this movement, in extension of the wrist, we're not doing a lot of this movement in our daily basis. So our brain is not used to be in this position. That's why I'm saying, oh, what's going on when you try to do any movement in this position. So we need to also train our brain, give our brain clues, saying that yeah, it's safe to be this way. So I like to start, or in all the classes I do, we always start with warming up. So basically what you do, if you remember the previous video we did about how you place the hand in your mat, you need to distribute the weight in your knuckles, heel of the hand, the knuckles, and the tip of the finger. So that will be a stability of your hand on the mat. So while you are in here, you just can feel like you want to grab the mat, like you won't do this movement with the like grab the mat. So straight away your arms are linked, your knuckles are on the floor, you are stable. So what you can do in here, you just place a bit further back your body and you just press down, like you try to flex your wrist, but obviously you can't because the floor is on the way. So in this case, these muscles are working really hard when you try to flex, but these ones are not doing much work. So we want to link the muscles to extend the wrists as well. So what we do is we press down, we try to grab the floor, and we raise our arms, but we keep the flexion in the extension in our wrists, and we're going back and front and down again. Press down and we keep the flexion. We bring arms up, back, touch the knees and front. And we can do this few times. So we start to warming up and our brain start to understand that both parts of the forearm are working, and this is a really good exercise. So after this, you just can place your arms again on the floor and going forward, back, back. You can go in circles. You can either place your hands towards each other, fingers towards each other, and going on the sides, or going forward and backward, always with control. You can put arms back as well, going back. You can go palms down as well, and stretch. Brilliant. So now that we are a bit warm our wrists, we can keep going with remembering this extension and flexion, neutral and flexion again of the fingers. So we are gonna do the full range of movement very slowly, like a 8. So it's like you try to push something away. So you're going up, extension, and you just try to grab something, put it on the back like this, up, and on the other side. So it's like try to do an 8, but always from the wrist, that you feel the movement from the wrist, and you can use both. Yeah. Good. So once you are do this few times and your wrists are warm, a good way to start to train your brain and strengthen your fingers is like you're just gonna place the hands on the floor, and you are gonna like put the arms like grab like raising your palms and putting the fingers like this on the floor. No? Brilliant. So try to avoid this. Try to avoid this weird flexion of the knuckles, or because that's very dangerous. Try to just bend your fingers, and you're just going a bit forward, and you just put the weight forward and back, forward and back. And while you are here, you just can do like this as well. You can do a few times, but try always to keep like the grabbing on the floor. Avoid this weird flexion of the fingers. Always fingers active and flex, and do the movement slow and with control. While when you get strong with this, you just can go into plank but with knees on the floor, and you can do the same movement but with more body weight. And if you just already feel very strong with this, if you've been practicing, you just can go into your plank, and again. But again, try to avoid this this weird flexion, extension of your fingers, because that's very dangerous. Brilliant. So these are exercises to strengthen your fingers and to start to give instructions of your brain. And another good exercise to strengthen the wrists, will be if you have a kitchen towel, bath towel, wherever, you can just twist. So you are in this position, and what you do is like twist, back and forth, back and forth. And if you see, I'm doing this extension of the wrist, and in the other one as well. So this is really good to strengthen your wrists. And another one you can do as well is like this, like you're trying to, when you twist, you remember when you put the key on the door and you twist and you pull it, because it's the same, boom, boom. So that's good exercises you can do to start to strengthen your knees, or your wrists, fingers, warming up, and to build a healthy and good position to further poses in yoga. I hope you find this helpful, and again, if you have any doubt, please email the unit and I will be very happy to assist in anything I can. Have a lovely evening. Bye.